Allah, the most merciful and the entirely merciful. All praise is due to Allah the Almighty, the Lord of the worlds. May Allah's peace, mercy, and blessings be upon His final and last messenger, Muhammad. And may Allah's peace, mercy, and blessings be with each and every one of you, dear viewers, watching this new episode of your program, The Revelation, here on Nile TV International. In this episode, my dear viewers, we will together find the answers to some very important questions that we have happily received via the official Facebook page of the program from many of you from different parts of the world. Without any further ado, let's read together the first question, and it is from Johanna from Australia, and she mentions a very important, and also it's a question that I'm sure is on the minds of so many of you, as her question has to do with whether or not it is a must or obligatory to have the intention for each and every day of fasting in Ramadan. And also she concludes by asking the question of whether or not it is a requirement to verbalize or to utter and announce the intention.
شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان فمن شهد منكم الشهر فليصم.
In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate, the month of Ramadan, in which was revealed the Quran, a guidance for the people and clear proofs of guidance and criterion. So whoever cites the month, let him fast it.
First of all, definitely we are very happy to have received this question, and we definitely thank our dear questioner and viewer for taking the time to send us her question. First of all, with regards to whether or not it's a must to have a distinct intention for each and every day during the month of Ramadan, or for fasting, I mean, the answer is yes. Some Muslim scholars said that there needs to be a distinct intention for each and every day separately. However, Imam Malik, in this regard, he holds the opinion that it is permissible to have one intention for fasting the entire month of Ramadan, and that's during the start of the month of Ramadan. So this also can suffice. In addition to the fact that having suhoor during the night, or to be more accurate, before the break of the dawn, is per se is an indication of one's intention to observe fasting. So there is no need, and this leads me to answering the second part of the question regarding whether or not it is required of the Muslim to verbalize or to utter the intention. And actually the answer is no. It is not a must to verbalize or to announce the intention, because as the Muslim scholars state in this regard, النية محلها القلب, and that's the position of one's intention lies in one's heart. So with this, we have answered the question of our dear questioner Johanna from Australia.
You lift me up high, you spread my wings and fly me to the sky. I feel so alive, it's like my soul thrives in your light. But how I wish you'd be here with me all year around. Ramadan, 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 ya Habib. Ramadan, Ramadan, ليتك دوما قريب.
As always, my dear viewers, I'd like to gently remind all of you that your questions and comments and feedback are always most welcome via the official Facebook page of the program. And on this note, let's read another question that we have received. And this question is from Andreas from Germany, and he mentions that as a revert Muslim, he receives many invitations from different Muslim families and Muslim communities to break the fasting or to have iftar with them. So he is wondering here if there is any kind of payback that he can provide as a sign of thanks and gratitude in this regard. And of course, definitely, this is a very important question. And this is why, in this regard, I'd like to remind ourselves of a very important, noble sunnah from the Prophet ﷺ, and that's the sunnah or the guidance of the Prophet ﷺ to make dua or to offer a prayer for the one who invites another person to break their fasting or to have iftar with them. And this is a very noble practice that the Prophet ﷺ has taught us. And in this regard, we have numerous traditions or statements from the Prophet ﷺ, as for instance, he is reported to have said that for the people who invited him to have a meal with them, he is reported to have said ﷺ, أفطر عندكم الصائمون. That's, may this always be a habit, and that's to have fasting people break their fasting with you. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you for this. And may the angels pray for you. So this is out of showing thanks and being grateful to the fellow Muslim who invites us to have breakfast with them. And of course, it is also recommended, if not being able to remember the wording of the hadith in particular, to just make dua for them and to express that you are asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to reward them and to bless them for the time and the effort that they have exerted in order to prepare the meal and all what it takes to provide this breakfast. And of course, this is a very noble practice that would spread noble feelings and gratitude and understanding and positive emotions among the community. of course, my dear viewers, this is such a noble practice that consolidates the feelings of togetherness and cohesiveness within the Muslim community. And of course, the Noble Quran in this regard clearly states, هل جزاء الإحسان إلا الإحسان. Now, my dear viewers, let's move to a new question that we have received. We have received this question from Amina from the States, and she mentions that she has a 12-year-old boy, and she's wondering at what age it becomes obligatory on the Muslim to observe fasting. Of course, this is a very important question, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless the questioner and her son and all her family and all the ones and their families who are watching us right now. When it comes to fasting as a pillar of Islam, it needs to be fulfilled when the person becomes mukallaf or becomes accountable. And when it comes to the age, the Muslim individual becomes accountable and thus required to observe all the Islamic obligations, and particularly the pillars. And of course, when it comes to a pillar like as-siyam or fasting, the month of Ramadan, when he or she reaches the age of al-bulugh, and that's the age of puberty. And here it is important to understand that when it comes to males, the sign or the indication that they have reached the age of puberty is through experiencing wet dreams. So this is what the Muslim scholars describe, or the word I mean that they use is al-ihtilam. So this is when it comes to reaching the age of puberty for males. As for females or young women in particular here, the age of puberty is discerned through reaching the time when she starts to experience the monthly period or the monthly cycle, or what is known as al-hayd in the Arabic language. So here there is a question, as it is probable that such a sign would take longer times, and it happens. For this point in particular, the Muslim scholars mention that when he or she reaches the age of 15 full lunar years old, they become also under the category of taklif or accountability, and thus they have to start fasting or observing the fasting of the month of Ramadan. And of course, this applies to the rest of the pillars. So again, very briefly, for boys, it is when they experience wet dreams. For women or for females, when they start experiencing the monthly cycle, or by reaching the age of 15 years old. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best.
شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان فمن شهد منكم الشهر فليصم.
In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate, the month of Ramadan, in which was revealed the Quran, a guidance for the people and clear proofs of guidance and criterion. So whoever cites the month, let him fast it.
This brings us to the end of this episode, my dear viewers. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to increase us all in knowledge and to enable us to put into practice all the beneficial knowledge that we acquire. Of course, as always, you are most welcome to send us and to share with us your questions, comments, and feedback via the official platforms of the program, and that's where you can as well watch this episode and the previous ones. That's it for now. I leave you in the care of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Lift me up high, you spread my wings and fly me to the sky. I feel so alive, it's like